The headline on this seems very ominous. There's a lot we don't know, particularly the location of the fire, the size of it, what it actually may mean. How concerned are you?
Very concerned. I cannot overstate the seriousness of this event. What we've seen is terrifying enough. If the electricity to this plant is cut off, if the plumbing to this plant is cut off, you could be looking at another Chernobyl, another major nuclear powered disaster on Ukrainian territory. There are multiple ways this could get very terrible very quick.
How does explain that? Because clearly, I mean, from a strategic standpoint, Russian authorities might want to try to take this plant offline in order to deprive the country of electricity to their cities. You're saying if the electricity to a plant is cut off, that could trigger an incident? How can that be?
Yes. If they want to take this off the grid, they should go and capture the plant and cut it, take it off the grid. But what they're doing is physically attacking this. We've used this word a lot in the last week. This is unprecedented. This has never happened in world history. A determined attack on a nuclear power plant. What you're worried about is two things. One, for those reactors that may still be operating, and I believe there are 6 reactors at this facility, the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. If those fuel rods are still in the reactor and you cut off the electricity, then you're cutting off the cooling system that controls the reaction, and you'll be unleashing an uncontrollable nuclear chain reaction in that facility. You will have a meltdown. You will have a Chernobyl. You will have a Fukushima. That's what you're talking about. But even for those reactors that are already shut down, the fuel has been removed and put into a cooling pond, those cooling ponds have to be filled with water. If you're cutting off the plumbing, if you're cutting off the electricity, you face the risk of those pools draining of the water, and again, an uncontrolled nuclear chain reaction that could lead to an explosion that would release plumes of radioactivity for hundreds of square kilometers.
I should point out, we do not know, there's so much we don't know. We do not know if they are actually attacking the plant, trying to physically damage the plant, which, as you say, would be incredibly alarming, or just trying to take over the physical location, and that there is gunfire and potential shelling around the plant. I don't know if that's a difference that matters at all to you.
No, that's right. If it's a controlled attack that's trying to knock out the guards, overcome the security protecting the plant. But I'm looking at this video like you are, and this does not seem like a very controlled attack. There was a lot of gunfire going into that plant. This does not look like a precision attack, like a careful attack to me. Again, the risks of this kind of attack, the risks of what could happen to any nuclear power plant, and this, the largest in Europe, is off the charts. They should immediately cease fire, immediately try to negotiate some kind of surrender of the plant where the operators could at least maintain control and prevent a nuclear catastrophe.
Now, the Ukrainian regulator telling the IAEA that there's been no change in the reported radiation levels at the plant.
Yes.
That is positive news, is it not?
Yes, it is. And there's various sites that track radioactive release, and you can find them on Twitter or Facebook. Social media is amazing in situations like this. And so far, there's no elevated radiation coming from that area. So that's the good news. Nothing terrible has happened yet.
Joe Cirincione, I really appreciate your expertise. It's so important at a time like this. So thank you so much. We'll continue to follow this.
Thank you. Stay safe.